Hello everyone, Man Thrall here, and welcome to the weekly update video. Now this week they came out with a few things, nothing too major depending on how you look at it. But there is more skilling outfits available to you through mini games, so do try to find, the biggest area for these types of mini games if you do not have these outfits yet, to be able to actually take part in them, because as well as, you and I know, if you're a regular RuneScape player, once these people who don't have it are done, good luck finding anybody to be able to play. So, without any further ado, the outfits that are now available are the Artisan from Steel and Creation, the Blacksmith from Artisan's Workshop. And before, how you get these from Steel and Creation, you have to be bought from the reward shop, which you get a random piece of the outfit. The Blacksmith, you get from the Artisan Workshop, and you get a random chance when successfully smithing ceremonial swords. Increased if you get a perfect. The Botanist, which is from the Flash Powder Factory, and it is bought in the reward shop. Farming, Cabbage Face Punch Bonanza, bought from the reward shop. Fletching, with a Fletcher, Steel and Creation, again from the reward shop. And Nimble, which is the agility, which is from the pit, and you have a random chance on completion, successful or not successful from the pit. So no matter what, you do have a chance of getting it. It's just you probably have a greater chance if you're successful, is my assumption, because it doesn't technically say one or the other. It says, note that the corresponding headpiece enhancements items are not currently obtainable via these methods. So, and they also made it possible for Ironman players to play Steel and Creation, making the crafting and fletching outfits available to those who prefer to go it solo. So it says, note that the other rewards in Steel and Creation shop are not available to Ironman players. So if you're an Ironman, hardcore Ironman, you can play Steel and Creation now, and you can at least get these skilling outfits, which is actually pretty nice, which makes me quite happy. The other update is a new chat box option. It's just, you have, here is the one type of chat box option, and the other type, it has the bar where you can expand or decrease about how much is shown, which is something I'll probably actually be using, because then you can just go like that unless you want to make a change. Then you just hit that and it'll show you. There is no advertised streams for this week, so we'll just go straight into showing you guys some of this stuff. Okay, so the reward shop for the Cabbage Face Punch, I'll show you this one in Steel and Creation. This way you guys can get a rough idea about how much of these are going to cost. Each farming piece from the Cabbage Face Punch is 800, costs 800. But Renown is actually pretty simple to come by when it comes to the Cabbage Face Punch. And Steel and Creation, we'll run over there quick. Okay, it's right up here, and we'll show you this one. This one is significantly cheaper, but if I remember correctly, it takes longer to actually be able to get the tokens. So as you can see, you have your nice little interfaces, what you want to select to purchase, and each one of these costs 100 points each. So I don't think you can get any repeat items when it comes to these, but I will not say that is a definite, but it is a possibility. Now for the chat box, if you guys can see it here, I'm going to drag it to the center of the screen here and expand it out a little bit for you guys. If you see here, the old method is what I'm currently showing right now. The new method, you do that and it just hides everything. So that's all it really is. Like I said, this week's updates, nothing too major, but they are there. I would have preferred personally to see some more content coming, but I have a feeling they're still kind of recovering yet from the release of Menaphos. So do expect a bit while before we're able to see more regular content like we are kind of accustomed and used to seeing. So I would say probably next month we'll start seeing the regular type releases again, not just these small little tiny ones. So without any further ado, let's head over to the patch notes. Okay, for patch notes, the graphical transparent issue with the beach grills has been fixed. An issue with lighting in several wilderness underground areas has been fixed. The World Gate Engram is no longer floating. Skills D&Ds and minigames. Crystal Skill Champas now requires level 71 woodcutting, mining, and fishing to use. Skill Champas now gives the correct amount of XP when used from the backpack while woodcutting. Players can now consistently teleport their filled urns with any crafting level. A second instance of Stanley Limelight will no longer spawn when Cabbage Face Punch Bonanza is spotlighted. Iron Man can now play Stealing Creation, but are unable to purchase any XP increasing rewards, which is fair enough. Quest challenges and achievements. The rune crafting requirement for the Runespan 5 daily challenge, if I'm not sure what the V is, daily challenge has been increased from 20 to 21, so it is now prioritized over the Body Runes daily challenge at higher levels. The cooking requirement for the Cook Meat Pizzas daily challenge has been increased from 45 to 46, so it is now prioritized over the Cook Swordfish daily challenge at higher levels. The following adjustments have been made to the Demon Slayer quest. The guidance in the Trial of Faith in the Silverlight Crypt has been improved. Dying in either crypt is now considered a safe death. Auto loot is no longer introduced during the quest. Skeletons and cultists during the quest no longer drop bones. And Gideon Bede's combat level has been removed. Slagalith can no longer be killed multiple times during one small favor. A typo in Karazi's dialogue during the Children of Maul quest has been fixed. And several UI bugs in the Zombo scene, concluding a Clockwork Syringe quest, have been corrected. Other extra dialogue has been added to the Soothsayer's Sybil about the one true triumphant warden. The friends list and friends chat dividers will now once again remember their positions upon login. An option has been added to teleport inside of the door of Telos when using Max Guild Boss Teleport. The next bossing portal will now teleport players outside of the main door if Ancient Ceremonial is equipped. Colored border has been added around the dungeoneering map to help it stand out. The transparency has been lowered on the dungeoneering map. The dungeoneering map will now automatically update the player markers when teleporting to any gate or gatestone or home teleport is used. Players who have been pinned under the icicle during next Angel of Death encounter will no longer get hit by the shadows during the final phase. A sound effect has been added, played when a player is targeted by the elements in a next Angel of Death encounter. A disconnect that occasionally occurred when mining a crablet has been fixed. It is now possible to check charges on silver jewelry when equipped. Blocking has been added to a wall in Sophanum. Blocking has been added to the tile in Menaphos Working District. Plague jackets and trousers can now be stored in the keepsake box. Players will now see a correct number of PvP kills when examining another player's commemorative statue. The Berserker auras will now reset the boosted stats on removal or logout, and state cap of 145 has been added when the auras are active. Berserker Essence once again boosts stats over 118 when using Berserker auras. Players can now read augmented Virtus books. Some typos in hyphen on the hyphen and Krywus voice of Saren tooltips have been fixed. The call button on the pet interface is now consistent with the rest of the interface. A number of typos in Cornelian's Rising Pet Wolf's interaction has been fixed. A typo that previously displayed with a Death Touch bracelet degrades has been fixed. I can't talk today. The Crack All option on Crystal Geodes and Mystic Nests will now correctly display the type of nest being searched. An issue where the Give Beast a Burden option can be on the summoning icon displayed as Take Beast of Burden has been fixed. Resolved an issue with the last use quick prayer option not working correctly when in legacy interface mode. The Piety, Rigor, and Augury prayers now correctly light up on the interface when all requirements are met. Quick teleporting in Dungeoneering will no longer use quick teleport charges. Last week's hotfixes, Camel Warriors no longer reappear after killing a single Mirage if another player has left a Camel Warrior without killing all the Mirages. Players will no longer be warned about having a too small Dungeoneering party in a large dungeon if one person leaves and rejoins in a 2-person party. A number of tweaks have been made to make luring players near the wilderness wall more difficult. Aggression potions no longer affect Chinchampas. Aggression scrimshaws and sigils no longer affect Chinchampas. Ninja fixes. Wait, there's quite a bit. The chat box now has various options to choose its display mode. Junk Refiner can now be used all in one and will adjust to display how many components a player can receive based on charges and junk available. Thank you, that's going to be very useful. The Wilderness Sword 4 can now be reclaimed from Mr. X in Edgeville for 100k. Chuck's dialogue tree has been reorganized and updated to be more user-friendly for the Penguin Quest and Penguin Hide and Seek. Players can now use a surge within the telekinetic teleport room in the mage training area. Combat training dummies can now be converted into other forms of combat dummies at a rate of 3-2. Similar to skilling dummies, it is now possible to quick respond to various Slayer-related quick chat messages. A Twitch tab on the social interface has been removed when using the NXT client. The Menaphos VIP area has been added to the list of skill portal locations in the Max Guild area of Perfindus. Ethereal headpieces now have a withdrawal essence option when worn, similar to the Wicked Hood. The confirmation of the Wizard's Tower teleport has been removed. Ethereal headpieces now correctly identify if a player has a Wicked outfit set stored inside a player-owned house. Clan Wars now offers the option to toggle various accept aid options, Saren spells, and has more viewing orbs in larger arenas. The Skeletal Horror can now be reset using weekly D&D's tokens. The Rune Metrics telemetry display is no longer displayed by default when quick loading a predefined interface layout. During the Ithil Voice of Saren, the clay rocks will not deplete. And Ninja free-to-play changes. So this is going to be interesting. It's been a while since I've seen free-to-play stuff. Free-to-play can now ask Wizard Jalarost in the Wizard's Tower to make split bark armor with the correct ingredients. Hollow bark, fine cloth, and snake skin / hide are now tradable by free players. Split bark armor is now equipable and tradable by free players. Sorry. Snakeskin armor, Turoth boots, and basilisk boots are now equipable by free players. Crossbows and bolts up to including rune can now be equipped by free players unless they are locked behind members' content. So basically you can have the normal traditional ones, but stuff like the bone crossbow, which is a member's quest, will be locked behind members' content. That's what they're referring to. A larger variety of combat abilities have been made available to use on free worlds. Free players may now use the price checker to check prices of members' items. So actually that's pretty good for free to play. So that'll actually do it for this video. So thank you guys so much for watching, and until next time, later guys.